Okay, 2018, my XCR 800 snowmobile is heading up to the camp back east for the weekend. It was running good. Had a little altercation there. I put it into the trees. You know, no big deal. Got out of that, stopped at a shelter, shut her down. Went to fire it up to get to leave, pulled the cord. She was stuck solid. Turned it back and forth, got it turning over, got it limped to the camp. Hauled it home. It broke a skirt, both skirts off one piston. So, that was 2018. I took the motor apart, took her out, threw it all in a Tupperware container. Decided I didn't want to just patch it up. I wanted to do it right and get a refurbished short block. Priced it out. It was almost $3,000. So, I was like, wow, okay, scratch that. Threw it back in the container. It's sat there since 2018. Came home this year. I wasn't going to do anything with it. And I was like, wow, you know, I kind of like to go snowmobiling. There was a bachelor party event there up in the woods, and everyone was snowmobiling to it. And I wanted to go along, so I pulled it out and took a look at it. The cylinders looked pretty good. They were kind of rough on the bottom on the intake side. So I got another set of used cylinders that were a little bit better. They were no heck. It's a triple, but the center cylinder and piston looked all brand new, like it's been replaced like when I bought the machine. 2 different cylinders, 2 new pistons, gasket kit, put it back together, pull the reeds out, and they're all kind of curled up. It's got a set of those double V-force reeds in it. So I flipped the reeds upside down and got them sealing better, and kind of went through things and checked things out and put the motor back in. And she ran good, but it was leaking coolant. There's coolant going somewhere. There's coolant coming out. I pulled the cylinder off. Everything was fine. Bolted her back together. The first thing was getting coolant into the engine. It was filling the base with coolant. I pulled it apart. I was looking for something that was cracked. I couldn't find any damage. I must have had that cylinder off 4 or 5 times. Couldn't find any damage. I tried, all I had for sealant was 3-bond. So I tried 3-bonding the gasket, putting a film on the cylinder, base, and gasket, and putting it together. That lasted like half an hour and the gasket blew out. And in the end, I just got just a bare gasket, cleaned it off good, torqued it down with just threw the torque specs out of the window and just cranked her down. And it lasted. I got up to the camp. I was like, oh shit, I don't know, it's 60 miles or 80 miles? I think 60 miles, I think. Up to the event, made it, and I made it a third of the way back home, and I seen it was taking coolant. I was like, oh crap. So I bought some stop leak with me. I just dumped her a stop leak, and it just, no, the base gasket right across the front, it blew the gasket right out. So there must be something warped or something screwed up there in that, I don't know, might need new engine cases. Frustrating. So anyways, here's a little bit of me getting it together. I had a GoPro vid of me running it a bit, but I don't know, I can't get it to load properly. So that's just a bit of a backstory on this snowmobile. So it's yeah, it needs something. It still runs, but she's hooped. So it's back in the shed back east for God knows how many more years till I decide to pull it out again. So this video is just going to be some little clips of me working on the motor. Doesn't really show too much. And there's going to be little clips of me test riding it. And I put about 100 miles on ahead of time before my big trip. I think it was 80 miles one way, each way in the trip. So the sled kind of made it, but it was... by the time I got home, I was all out of coolant. So she was running dry. I stopped twice in this pile of cab full of snow and got her home. The friggin' thing. And the problem is with those old things, like, oh, those old triple pipe triples, especially like the XCR 800 with their variable exhaust valve, they're just so crisp and just, oh, they pull so good. They're like, I don't know, being addicted to old triples, old high performance snowmobiles, it's probably almost as bad as a drug addiction in a way. Because it's like, oh, it's so good. Then once it breaks down, you're like, no. And you're like, you fix it and you're okay, yes, it's good this time, and you run it again and burn, something else happens. And it's just, it never ends, man, but it's all in the name of fun. So here's my clips. Ha, different view here tonight in my brother's workshop. And I was gonna film building this, but there was just, you know, when you're doing something critical, you just don't want to be bothered, so. Here's what I did today. 2 cylinders, 2 pistons, and I took the center apart and checked it all. So XCR 800. See, it's case reed injection. Well, I don't know, see this? The intake comes in from the bottom in a reed valve, right? No intake port on the cylinder. Sucks in from the case and up. And then your exhaust, they got these, it's like a knife valve that goes in there. And there's a rubber diaphragm, and inside the cylinder, right there inside the cylinder, comes out through, there's a little port. That's like a little pressure port. So when your cylinder pressure builds, it pops out the vacuum, and it actually makes your exhaust port bigger. So there you go. It's a variable exhaust XCR 800 Polaris snowmobile motor. We'll get her in the sled here, hopefully tomorrow, hopefully, or after Christmas, and hopefully she holds together. Sweet home New Brunswick. Beautiful day here. There's the Bay of Chaleur. You look across, and that's Quebec. It's Quebec you see across here, across the Bay of Chaleur. Had a big snowstorm the other day. Just put the motor in there and ran it a few times. It's running good, but it's leaking coolant out the bottom of one cylinder. And it's liquid cooled heads, but it also liquid cools the water pumps here. And there's a cooling rail that runs across. It's leaking here, but there's coolant ports that go from the base up into the exhaust side. So I think it's leaking at this base gasket. So I'm gonna have to re-pull this cylinder back off and drain the coolant and check that out. It was leaking coolant out, and then I got leaking coolant into the engine on the clutch side cylinder. The plug is burning white. Well, here, that's chunky coolant. So I kept taking coolant. I don't know what the heck. Couldn't get her to seal up. I swapped cylinders. I blew a base gasket out. Put another gasket in. Took it for a little drive the other day, and it seems to be working. So I got extra oil. I got Prestone in there. I just kind of bought a curved GoPro mount there and jammed the GoPro mount onto the old helmet. I don't know what the angle is going to be like. I don't know what the camera angle's like, but I'm going to run her a bit here. I'm going to stop about 10 miles up and check my coolant level, and if it's okay, I'll keep going. Hello. Too bad batteries don't like cold. The battery's still full, but it died on me. So far so good with the sled. Went to the lodge and back. It's about 30 miles. So it'll be 60-mile round trip. So I'm halfway back home. Beautiful night out. Nice cold frosty night. I was hoping to get some GoPro footage of me riding, but it's just too dang cold out and the camera wouldn't work. So maybe we'll try again on a sunny day. So that's all I got for that, between camera issues and cold and everything else. But if you like old triple snowmobiles, don't be sad because there's more triple snowmobile content coming up. Not with this machine, but with a different machine. And it's going to be pretty cool. The project, yeah, I kind of started it, not really. I'm starting to get some parts together, so don't worry. You will get your fill of old triples. So right on, guys. These videos are a little pieced together here. They're just clips that I had when I was away on holidays. So we'll be back to the regular program before too long. And thanks a lot, guys.